Find out what the testimonies are in President Trump's impeachment hearing.
Olympic gold medalist Simone Biles speaks out after being excluded from FBI investigations on former team doctor Larry Nassar.
The dual lawsuits continue in California. Find out the most recent lawsuit that has been filed against the company.
Is there more rain in the forecast? Find out in weather coming up. Newscene starts now.
Welcome to this week's edition of Newscene. I'm Susana Serrano.
And I'm Kareem Khashoggi.
As impeachment hearings continue in Washington, D.C., 10 Democratic presidential nominees took the stage for the fifth time this year. Foreign policy and democracy reform took center stage along social issues. Senators running for president will also be drawn into the impeachment process, splitting their time between the campaign trail and Capitol Hill.
Embattled Navy officer Edward Gallagher will be back in a courtroom again soon. The Navy SEAL is having a hearing on December 2nd to determine his rank. This comes after President Trump saying Gallagher will not be removed from the SEALs.
There has been more testimony in Trump's impeachment inquiry. Edgar has more in our lead report.
Thank you. The inquiry into whether or not President Trump should be impeached for an abuse of power has continued this week. Trump is accused of misusing his power to get the Ukrainian government to investigate the financial dealings of Hunter Biden, the son of Trump's political opponent, in exchange for U.S. financial military aid to Ukraine. Three key witnesses testified this week at Capitol Hill. It started with the U.S. ambassador to the EU, Gordon Sondland, followed by the testimony of Dr. Fiona Hill, the former White House expert on Russia, and David Holmes, a U.S. diplomat to Ukraine. Let's go over them in order. The ambassador to the EU, Sondland, was asked whether there was a quid pro quo between Trump and the Ukrainian president. He was very direct with his reply.
Is there a quid pro quo? As I testified previously, with regard to the requested White House call and the White House meeting, the answer is yes.
Ambassador Sondland's testimony went against previous Republican insistence that there wasn't a quid pro quo. It also challenged the idea that an investigation into Biden's son was not a requirement that President Trump made in exchange for offering aid. Another person questioned is the former expert on Russia, Dr. Hill. She was firm in her beliefs about Ukraine allegedly interfering in U.S. politics during the 2016 election.
Used to be part of an effort to legitimize an alternate narrative that the Ukrainian government is a U.S. adversary and that Ukraine, not Russia, attacked us in 2016.
U.S. diplomat in Ukraine, Holmes, spoke of what he was told Trump's interests are in Ukraine. He gave insight into what it was like to be a part of these proceedings.
I then took the opportunity to ask Ambassador Sondland for his candid impression of the President's views on Ukraine. In particular, I asked Ambassador Sondland if it was true that the President did not give an expletive about Ukraine. Ambassador Sondland agreed that the President did not give an expletive about Ukraine. I asked why not. Ambassador Sondland stated that the President only cares about big stuff. I noted there was big stuff going on in Ukraine, like a war with Russia. And Ambassador Sondland replied that he meant big stuff that benefits the President, like the Biden investigation that Mr. Giuliani was pushing.
All these witnesses were questioned along strict party lines. Democrats took time to denounce the president, and the Republicans kept calling the accusations against them baseless. The impeachment inquiry into President Trump will continue in the following weeks, and we will keep you updated as it happens. Will the inquiry turn into an impeachment trial? Will there be an impeachment? Learn in the future episodes of Newscene. But that's all the time we have for today. I'm Edgar, and now back to the desk.
Thank you, Edgar. The White House official who made misleading claims about her resume is resigning. The news comes after Mina Chang was found to have misrepresented her charity work. Chang made it sound like 2015 trip to Afghanistan was for humanitarian work, but a former employee disputed the story, saying it was paid for by a defense contractor.
California Governor Gavin Newsom has announced a ban of automakers who are ignoring emission regulations. Starting in January, the state will buy only from automakers who follow the tough regulations. The preferred cars will be plug-in electric or hybrids, with the exception of SUVs and trucks. The tactic is to reduce air pollution and California's carbon footprint.
In another blow to vaping startup Juul, California is the second state to sue the e-cigarette company for allegedly targeting minors. 5 lawsuits have been filed against the company. The suit comes as one high school principal says over 65% of his students are vaping.
Boeing must redesign the engines of roughly 7,000 of its jets. The order comes after an accident that killed a passenger last year. The passenger was killed when part of a fan blade broke off, crashing through a window and killing a woman next to it. The repairs came after the NTSB released its findings about the incident.
Boeing's troubled 737 MAX is still not flying, but the company just landed orders for 60 new planes. It came at the yearly Dubai Air Show, where airlines and plane manufacturers get together to make deals. Boeing was able to sell more MAXs to new and existing customers. The company is still struggling to get the MAX approved to fly again. The 737 is the best-selling commercial jet of all time.
For those of you traveling this Thanksgiving, make sure to plan ahead. AAA expects more than 55 million travelers to go by car, plane, bus, and cruise ship from November 27th to December 1st. This is an increase of over 1.5 million people over last year. Experts advise against traveling late in the afternoon to keep your trips shorter.
Bebe is going bye-bye. After being born and raised at the Washington National Zoo for the last 4 years, the giant panda is going back to China in style on his own private jet. The FedEx 777 wide-body dubbed the Panda Express is carrying Bebe and his handlers on the direct non-stop flight. Snacks, water, and 66 pounds of bamboo will keep the panda pleased for his long journey. There are now only 1,800 giant pandas left in the wild.
Up next, it's Transgender Awareness Week, and San Diego is making efforts to show support.
Critics of Drag Queen Story Hour are at it again. See what's making them angry after the break.
When I first saw Turtle, my heart was full. Now I'm anything but lonely.
We had this deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with Turtle is a perfect day.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer.
I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a little bit of a lot of things.
But they're all pure
love.
What to expect when you're expecting.
Like here?
A teenager.
Today, I'm going to show you how to teen-proof your home. First step, hide the car keys. Preferably somewhere they would never look. Challenges will come up. Be ready for them. Hi, honey.
Ready for the... Mom, you don't use mannequins in the mannequin challenge.
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
A San Diego teacher is in hot water for using his radio-controlled toy to smuggle drugs across the U.S.-Mexico border. The 16-year-old was arrested early Sunday morning on suspicion of using an RC car to carry meth across the border near the Otay Mesa entry. Border Patrol agents discovered the boy hiding in the bushes. He had 2 large duffel bags filled with 55 pounds of drugs and the toy car. The teen has been booked into juvenile hall.
Critics of the recent Drag Queen Story Hour are angry about how much was spent by the city of Chula Vista. The city spent $42,000 just on security, according to NBC7. The September event required a police presence of up to 96 officers to ensure safety at the protest outside the library. Of those officers, 81 were paid overtime.
For the first time in San Diego's history, the transgender pride flag is being displayed in our city. In recognition of Transgender Awareness Week, the pink and blue colored flag can be found next to the U.S. and California state flags. The LGBT Community Center is highlighting programs and services aimed at transgender and non-binary people. It will also host a vigil tonight to honor individuals lost in the past year to anti-trans violence.
Chick-fil-A is stirring up controversy after it stopped donating to select anti-LGBTQ charities. The fast food chain ended support to the Salvation Army and Fellowship of Christian Athletes, which don't support gay rights. The president and COO of the chain says it will donate to charities regardless of faith-based status.
Clothes made from pineapple leaves, orange peels, and algae. H&M stores will be selling sustainable fashion starting next year. The organic clothes show the versatility of the new materials, which are also being used to make cups. Italian manufacturer Ratti Associates has developed 3D printed cups made from orange peel fibers, and it is publicly demonstrating its machine in Italy.
The City College Cosmetology program is offering a salon holiday special this month. Cosmetology students are giving spa services for the holidays every Monday from the 25th of November to the 9th of December. The package includes options from pedicures to deep conditioning treatments. More information can be found in the event calendar on the City College website.
The AMAs are this weekend. Shonda, what's going on?
Thank you, Kareem. We start tonight with big news in the music world. The 2019 American Music Awards will air this weekend, and it will be quite a show. Post Malone, Ariana Grande, Billie Eilish, and Taylor Swift are some of the big names competing for the Artist of the Year. And for Swift, it will be a night to remember. The singer-songwriter will be honored with the Artist of the Decade Award. She will also perform 10 of her hit songs, a move that came only after a legal battle. The awards will be broadcast this Sunday night at 5 on ABC. And the AMAs aren't the only awards that have the music world buzzing. The nominees for the 62nd Grammy Awards were announced, and 17-year-old Billie Eilish is the youngest artist to be nominated for the Best Record Album, Song of the Year, and Best New Artist. Her hit song Bad Guy and album When Do We Fall Asleep swept to the top categories. Lizzo received the most nominations with 8. The Grammys will air on January 26th on CBS. Speaking of Lizzo, the Truth Hurts singer is getting sued by a Postmates courier after exposing the driver's identity. In response, Lizzie is accusing the courier of stealing her food. In a now-deleted tweet, the singer wrote, "Hey Postmates, this girl Tiffany stole my food." Lizzo then issued an apology the following day with another tweet, this time saying she apologizes for putting that girl on blast. And changing gears, the Critics' Choice Awards are celebrating a decade of Black cinema. And Eddie Murphy will receive the Lifetime Achievement Award for Netflix Dolomite Is My Name and his remarkable roles throughout the years. Nia Long, Chiwetel Ejiofor, and Cassie Lemons will also be honored for their remarkable work on December 2nd. And from there, we move to the streets of Hollywood. Literally, the stars of Frozen and Frozen 2 have just unveiled their stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Idina Menzel and Kristen Bell made the crowds chuckle with their speeches as they received their stars on the sidewalk near the Pantages Theater. The honor comes just days before the release of Frozen 2. And finally, reality star and fashion beauty Kylie Jenner has sold 51% of her cosmetic line to Coty Cosmetics for $600 million. But that didn't stop her from releasing the exclusive cosmetic line for Christmas, and it's red hot. The holiday kits are dressed with candy cane-like stripes. It's safe to say that it will be on plenty of Christmas lists. That's all for entertainment. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Shonda. SZSU is getting closer to the desired stadium they want, but it could still change.
The iconic Laker girls had legendary guest appearances in their halftime show. More on those dance moves in entertainment.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Queen is just my everything.
His smile did it. His smile, his eyes, his knowledge. My landlord, he decided that he wanted me to move based on the fact that I was transgender. Let's just respect people in everyday life for just being human.
Elon Musk's SpaceX is planning to provide high-speed internet around the world. The company launched 60 Starlink satellites into orbit designed to bring the internet to the most isolated communities, but the move worries astronomers who say they depend on dark skies for observation. Satellites create artificial light that creates delays, blocking their view.
Already subscribing to Disney Plus? Hackers have apparently gained access to thousands of user accounts of the streaming service. Usernames and passwords have been sold on some hacking forums. It's a good reminder to change your password often and avoid using the same password for multiple accounts.
Uber is launching a new program with the hopes of improving the company's safety record. Both passengers and drivers can use the Uber app to record audio of their ride. Users can submit the audio recording to the Uber app if they need to report a safety incident. The program kicks off in Latin America in December. The company hopes to launch in the U.S. soon.
UCSD is updating its rules on how students can get around campus. Cell phones and earpods have exploded in use, leading to distracted students who ride scooters, bikes, and skateboards. The proposed policy expects riders to stop using their phones and put away their headphones, making it safer for them and for pedestrians. UCSD encourages students to express their thoughts on the new policy before it takes effect.
San Diego State University is now one step closer to breaking ground on its new stadium. The San Diego City Council voted anonymously to accept the university's offer of $86.2 million for the Mission Valley site. The sale, however, is not final. The City Council has yet to approve a sale agreement, and the Cal State trustees need to approve the project. Both sides plan to close the sale by March of next year.
From new soccer coaches in the Premier League to NFL games in Mexico, here is Yakira with more in sports.
Thank you. Week 11 in the NFL took the Los Angeles Chargers and the Kansas City Chiefs all the way to Mexico City. The Chiefs beat the Chargers 24-17 at the Estadio Azteca. It was a 10th game in the NFL played at the Capitol. But what fans may not know is that games have been played in Mexico for more than 30 years. London has also hosted NFL games, as well as Canada. And according to SB Nation, the NFL also plans to add games in China and Germany. Now to soccer. The Tottenham Hotspurs have announced a new head coach. Jose Mourinho is in and Mauricio Pochettino out. The announcement caught fans by surprise only 6 months after the former coach led the team to the Champions League final. The new coach has 25 trophies under his belt and signed a contract with the London-based team until the end of the 2022-2023 season. Olympic gold medalist Simone Biles is seeking answers after a report about abuse by former team Dr. Larry Nassar was revealed by USA Gymnastics. According to the Wall Street Journal, Gymnastics chief executive Steve Penny contacted the FBI about the alleged abuse. Biles, who was one of the first to speak out, was left out of the 5-week investigation by the chief executive. She expressed outrage over Twitter. The Summer Olympics may be far off, but the competition for a spot on the U.S. team is heating up. San Diego State's Morgan McKinnon is in the mix after qualifying for the U.S. Olympic swimming time trials. The 21-year-old competed at Mizzou Invitational Long Course Time Trials, where she completed the 100 breaststroke in a record time. According to SCSU, she recorded the longest, fastest course time in program history. And here at City College, we have two sports to keep an eye on: the women's volleyball team and the men's basketball. Women's volleyball is headed to playoffs for the 4th straight year. The Knights will take on Rio Hondo tomorrow. The men's basketball team won a key away game this week, defeating Mount Jacinto 96-85. The Knights will next head to the Grossmont tournament in December. And the iconic Lakers girl halftime dance got a surprising twist on Tuesday. Former Patriot Rob Gronkowski, tennis star Venus Williams, and the Late host James Corden all joined in. Venus wore a purple outfit with a gold and purple headband, and she showed fans she can really get with the jiggy. Gronk and Corden wore the classic gold uniform and gave their fans something to laugh about and showed them a little bit of their moves. Well, that's all the time that I have for sports. Back to you at the desk.
The iconic lake. Are the temperatures going to keep dropping? Stay tuned for weather coming up.
Yo, Scott.
Hey.
I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Oh, you know what? I was just in there. The line is like 10 people long.
You know, I think I'll just...
Dude, are you okay?
You wouldn't believe what I was just thinking. I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
Smart man.
Did you see how that dog was looking at me?
Here she comes. Hi, Kristen. Take you, Jamie, to be my wife.
When we found out that we were pregnant, we were just elated. We were just sitting there waiting for the pediatrician. She said she won't be taking you in as a client.
We are a lesbian couple, but she's just a baby. She's the one you're denying the service to.
Pacific Gas and Electric has shut off power again, this time to 50,000 customers in Northern California. The planned shutoff began early Wednesday to prevent fires. It follows a report of high winds and dry conditions in the forecast. Another 100,000 more customers were on standby for power shutoffs. PG&E is the largest utility company in Northern California.
It's been cold lately, and we've been getting a lot of rain lately. So do you think we'll need to bring an umbrella for Thanksgiving, Kenyatta? Please tell us.
Okay, well, I have some bad news. Looks like it's going to be a wet Thanksgiving, so make sure you bring an overcoat with that umbrella. Make sure you're careful. You know, we just got pounded for the last couple of days. Right now, things have actually cleared out a little bit on the West Coast, and we have these systems that are moving through. So we have this low pressure centered in the middle of the country over Missouri and Kansas, and it's actually bringing some snow. There's a National Weather Service warning out now for some winter snow, so be careful if you're out there. Just ahead of that, we have a low pressure system and a cold front, and it's stretching. That cold front is stretching all the way from the Gulf of Mexico. If you look, it's going along the eastern seaboard, so they're going to cool down a little bit, and they have a lot of clouds. Lucky for us, we're clear, and like I said, it's going to be a wet Thanksgiving, so out in the Pacific, we have a little system that's coming our way. It won't affect us till about Tuesday. But, you know, today the weather was really nice. 60s, high 60s along the coast. These are the high temps. Inland Valley, 69 degrees. You can't really complain for the end of November, right? The higher elevations are starting to cool down. So be careful if you're going to venture out in the higher elevations. And right now, the current temps are starting to cool down. It's already getting dark a lot earlier. I bet you noticed that. So things are starting to cool a lot faster with that prolonged period of darkness. So let me move out the way so you can see. We have 62 along the coast. Inland valleys, we're cooling down a little bit faster, 59 degrees. They don't have that marine layer like we do to keep things warm. So once it gets dark, it starts to cool down a lot faster. Mountains up there, it's going to start getting to below freezing temps overnight. And the desert, right now they're at 58, but we're going to cool down rapidly as we move throughout the night. And over the next 5 days, things are going to actually warm up a little bit. We're going to clear. So if you can see, okay, we have this this area that's starting to clear out because we had the system. It's going to clear by Sunday, so we should see some clear skies. Then Monday and Tuesday, we start to introduce more clouds as that area of low pressure starts to move in closer to us. Then we're going to start seeing some rain on Wednesday, and Thursday we're definitely going to have rain. One thing to think about, if you're going to go up into the mountains around here, with those low temps that they're having, they're expecting a little bit of snow. So if you like the snow, that might be a good idea if you're going to go out there. And be careful if you're going to be going up into like the northern part of California. Maybe if you're in the Bay Area and you want to go to Reno, or you're going to go to Lake Tahoe for Thanksgiving, there's a National Weather Service warning right there for heavy snow. It's going to be progressing throughout the week. So that's going to be something that you should definitely be aware of. And this is the time of the year where things start to cool down. But it's Thanksgiving, so perfect time to be indoors with people that you love. Have some pie, have some turkey maybe, or maybe you're going to go vegan this year. Who knows? Okay, well, that's all the time we have for weather. I'm going to pass it to you folks on the desk.
Thank you, Kenyatta. Well, do you need help getting ready for Thanksgiving? Now you can call a special holiday hotline. Jenny O Turkey Store has once again opened up its turkey hotline, 1-800-TURKEYS. Callers can ask chefs and cooking instructors about turkeys-related topics like cooking tips or how to avoid potential kitchen nightmares. The hotline, which is in its 12th year, is available from now until the 27th between 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. Isn't that interesting? Turkey hotline? That's hilarious.
Well, you have to have turkey for Thanksgiving, right? What are you going to have as the sides?
Well, because I am Latina and Mexican, I love to eat tamales with turkey.
Tamales with turkey?
Okay. You know, you have to try it. Mix your cultures in there.
Right. All right. Well, I'm all for that, and I'm looking forward to that snowfall in Lake Tahoe. We love to go up there and go do some skiing, and unfortunately, it's raining next week, but. You know, that's okay. We're all going to be indoors and have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Hopefully I don't catch the rain. I'm going to go up to Julian to buy some pies and enjoy that with my turkey and tamales as well.
That's great. I love those Julian pies.
Thank you so much for tuning in this week's edition of Newscene. I'm Susana Serrano.
And I'm Kareem Khashoggi. Have a great weekend.
And happy Thanksgiving.